Dear students, I welcome you on behalf of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College for the remote teaching learning process, where our motto is let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure.
Let us move towards part 2 of chapter number 3, issue of shares, wherein today we are going to understand about the pricing methods adopted by the companies for issue of shares. Dear students, in our previous video, that is part 1, we understood about classification of share capital. Now today we are going to understand about the pricing methods. But before that, let us understand in brief the different methods or ways in which a company issues shares. As you can see from the flow chart, there are basically 4 methods through which a company issues shares. It includes public offer, which is further divided into IPO and FPO. The second is the shares are issued to the existing equity shareholders in the form of right issue and bonus issue. Further, the company also issues shares to the existing employees, which further includes schemes like ESOS, ESPS, SARS and sweat equity. And lastly, the company also makes private placement through right issue and preferential allotment. Now we are supposed to understand all these methods in detail. So let us move further. As seen in the flow chart, the first method of issue of shares is public offer. So firstly, we'll understand the meaning of public offer. The term public offer is also called as public issue, which means offering shares to the public for subscription or buying. This is supposed to be the most common method which is used by the joint stock companies to raise funds by means of issue of shares. In this method, the company invites the general public to subscribe or purchase its shares by means of issuing a document which is called as prospectus. So public offer implies whenever a joint stock company offers the shares to the general public and invites them to purchase or subscribe for its shares, then it is said to be public offer made by the joint stock companies. Let us now move towards the first topic of today, that is question number 2. Now let us move towards our question number 2, which is explain the pricing methods used by a company to offer shares to the public. Before moving to the pricing methods, it is necessary to understand the meaning of pricing methods. Pricing methods refers to the ways in which the prices of the shares are calculated so that it can be offered to the public for subscription. It simply means that before actually offering the shares to the general public, it is necessary on the side of the company, on the part of the company, to decide the prices at which it will be offering the shares to the general public. So it is nothing but a process wherein the company calculates the price of the shares and then specifies about the same to the investors. There are basically 2 methods of pricing, that is fixed price issue method and book building method. Let us understand both these methods in detail. The first method is fixed price issue method. As the name indicates, under this method, the prices of the shares are decided in advance, that is, they are fixed before the actual issue of shares to the public. The prospectus of the company contains the details of the price at which the shares are offered and also the total number of shares, that is, the quantity offered by the company. Nextly, the investors are asked to pay either a certain portion or entire money at the time of submitting application for the shares. Further, the company comes to know about the demand of its share only after the subscription period ends, that is when the issue of share closes. A company can issue shares either at par or at premium. Issue of shares at par means when the face value and issue value of shares are same. For example, a share having face value of rupees 10 if issued at rupees 10 can be called as issue of shares at par. On the other hand, issue of shares at premium means when the face value is less than issue value of shares. For example, a share having face value of rupees 10 if issued at rupees 12, then it is called as issue at premium. Lastly, fixed price issue method can be used for making all types of issue of shares, that is whether a company makes a public issue or rights issue. Let us now move towards the second method, which is called as book building method. Under this method, the prices are not fixed like the fixed price issue method. Here, the issue price is determined by a process which is called as bidding process. For this purpose, the company issues a prospectus which is called as red herring prospectus, and it contains price range or price band. Dear students, we have already studied about red herring prospectus in 11th standard, wherein we understood that red herring prospectus is that form of prospectus which is an incomplete prospectus, as it does not specify the price at which the company is going to offer shares. In this red herring prospectus, the investors are asked to bid on it. Now, what is the meaning of the term bid? The term bid refers to the price at which an investor is willing to buy the shares. Besides this, the bid price also indicates the quantity which he or she will be purchasing for that proposed price. The lower end of the price band is called as floor price, whereas the highest level of price band is called as cap price or ceiling price. This process of bidding is kept open for the investors for 5 days. After this bidding process gets over, the investors have to submit their bids along with application to the lead merchant bankers, who are also called as book runners. Lead merchant bankers are those institutions who provide advisory service as well as they make necessary arrangement to buy or sell securities of an issuing company. These merchant bankers enter the bid amount in a book and maintain a record of the same. Once the bidding is over, the company fixes the cutoff price. Cutoff price is the final price at which the shares are finally offered to the investors. Lastly, the company issues a prospectus which contains the final price of shares. Book building method can be used for public issues, that is IPO, which is called as initial public offer, and even FPO, which is called as further public offer. So, dear students, as you can see, in book building method, the investors are involved in pricing method. They are given an opportunity to participate while deciding the prices of the shares, whereas in fixed issue price method, the prices are decided by the company itself. So basically speaking, there are two methods of pricing of shares, that is fixed price issue method and book building method.
Thank you, dear children, for your patience listening.